Hey, what is up guys? My name is Oleg, this is Banane, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to do a full review of Oris Aquis diver. I purchased mine at the end of March, so I spent about 4.5 months with it up until this point. Now the reason why I waited so long to do this review is because I really wanted to spend enough time with the watch and not just give a biased positive review. When you spend your own money on the watch, you clearly already like the watch. So it's a little bit more difficult to be objective because you already overlooked all the negatives of the watch and decided, hey, for this amount of money, this is the watch that I'm gonna buy. I already did a full video talking about my experience of buying the watch and how I came about buying the watch. That video can be found on the channel. I will also link it in the description below. But basically the short story of the purchase of this watch goes like this. My girlfriend and I, we were at the mall one day. I wasn't expecting to buy a watch that day or that month. And then I saw the store was going out of sale. I walked in, saw this watch, couldn't really resist myself, and I purchased it. I got a really good deal, in my opinion, and based on the comments that I received and emails and messages, I did get a good deal on it. So I only spent 1,000 US dollars or about 1,300 Canadian dollars on this watch. Brand new, of course, in gray market, they're about 1,300 US, 1,500 US, depending of course on the different color combinations and things like that. But at $1,000 at a retail store, I thought it was a no-brainer. So let's actually dive in, pun intended, because diver watch, you get it. Let's dive in and talk about the case dimensions of the watch. It has a diameter of 43.5 millimeters, a lug-to-lug width of 50 millimeters. A lug width, this one is a little bit tricky because of the design of the bracelet, but basically the widest 2 points on the bracelet are about 25 millimeters apart, and the thickness of 12.5 millimeters. And here's what the watch looks like on my 7.5-inch wrist. I really love this fit. Now normally I would prefer smaller watches, and I should mention that this watch is also available in a 39mm case if you have a smaller wrist. However, I would say that 43.5 does wear really well. It wears closer to 42 in my opinion. So if you have a mid to large size wrist, go for this 43.5mm case. I really like the thickness at only 12.5 millimeters, so it does fit on the wrist really nicely. The only kind of negative of the watch is the weight. It's 189 grams, so some people will like it, some people dislike that. Just know what you're getting yourself into. This one is a hefty watch. I don't mind it too much. However, I do have to admit, it took me a few days to get used to this weight on my wrist before it felt comfortable, because I generally don't wear heavy watches. The case material on this watch is stainless steel, although Oris is well known for their bronze diver watches. Jody from Just One More Watch loves his bronze divers from Oris. I, to be honest, prefer the stainless steel look. The finish on the watch is fantastic. So we have a polished on the top and brushed on the sides of the case. The finishing is excellent. You get some great transitions between the polished and the brushed. And also the watch features this integrated bracelet. Now, this was another one of my negatives initially when I purchased the watch, and that's actually why it took me a little bit of time to decide whether I want to buy this watch or not. I actually went out, got the coffee with my girlfriend, talked about it, thought about buying this watch, and then went back and bought it. And the big reason behind that was this integrated bracelet. I'm not a huge fan of watches that have integrated bracelets because you're kind of tied in to buying strap options from this company only. There are some third-party options out there, but generally speaking, you do have to buy straps. If you, let's say, want to put this on a rubber strap or a leather strap, you do have to buy those from Oris, and of course you have to pay their Oris tax. However, considering the quality of this bracelet and just how well the watch looks on the bracelet, I don't think I will ever switch to a rubber strap. The bracelet just works so well with it. Of course, it's an integrated bracelet, so it kind of becomes part of the watch. It's one continuous piece instead of having the separation between the case and the bracelet. So we have this polished side links and a brushed middle link. The look is good, although it will pick up quite a few scratches and scuffs. Mine already picked some in the last 4 months of use. The bracelet is comfortable to wear. It tapers to about 20 millimeters by the clasp, and the clasp here is a very simple design. 2 pushers, you open it up like so. There is an engineered clasp, or the scissor clasp here, with a diver extension. so that's good to see. Plus we also have 3 micro adjustments there and an Oris logo on the clasp, so very simple but a good design of this clasp. At the 3 o'clock position we have a crown with crown guards. Let's actually talk about these crown guards. So as you can see, the way they're designed, they have these screws, and my understanding is that you can actually replace the crown guards if they wear out. So let's say you damage one or both of the crown guards, you can unscrew them. Well, probably not you, but your watchmaker or whoever services the watch, they can unscrew the crown guards and replace them. In my opinion, that's actually a pretty smart idea. The crown is a screw down crown signed with Oris logo. The crown action is excellent, silky smooth. At the back we have a screw down case back with a display window displaying that iconic red Oris rotor. So this is actually not an in-house movement. This watch is powered by a Sellita SW200 movement. We've seen this movement many times, 26 joules, 36 hours of power reserve, beats at 28,800 beats per hour, hacking and hand winding, and has a date functionality. Mine is actually super accurate. I'm getting plus 2 seconds per day, which is amazing. The watch has a unidirectional 120 click diver style bezel. The bezel action is okay. It's not fantastic, but it's not awful. To be honest, I wish the bezel action was a little bit better. It's not a full negative, but it's a bit of a nitpick. The biggest issue that I have with the bezel is that it's a bit tough to grip. The grip is not fantastic, especially from the size of the case. From the top and bottom, you can turn it fairly easily, but from the sides, it's a bit hard to grip. However, the bezel does have this ceramic bezel insert, and in my opinion, it's fantastic. The way it looks, just the overall quality of it is next level. First of all, it is green, and it's very difficult to show in a video just how well this watch plays with light. In certain lighting conditions, like in darker lighting conditions, it almost appears to be black. So it looks like it has a dark gray dial and a black bezel. However, in a more sunny or well lit rooms, it looks almost lime green. So the way it plays with the light is easily one of my favorite features of this watch. The dial and the dial design are fantastic. Very minimal writing, just Oris automatic by the 12 o'clock position, and then pressure resistant 300 meters by the 6 o'clock position. Also by the 6 o'clock position we have a cutout for the date window. Date window integration is excellent, so the date wheel matches the color of the dial. Really like that, and Swiss made by the 6 o'clock position as well. We also have these kind of torpedo style hands and a lollipop on the seconds hand, all applied indices for hour marks, and we also have this minute running track. The loom is fantastic. It's probably top 3 or maybe even number 1 loom that I ever tested on the watch on this channel. It's not the most amount of loom, so it's not like the bezel is loomed and all the little hash marks are loomed. It's not that. It's just very strong and lasts for a really long time. So what are my overall thoughts about the watch? Do I regret buying it? Am I gonna flip it in the future? For now, I don't see myself selling this watch. I love it. It was a bit of a risk, kind of impulse buying this timepiece. Even though the price was great, it was still a bit of a risk because you don't know how you're gonna feel about the timepiece a few days later or a few months later. Sometimes the honeymoon period passes and you wake up in bed with dog. Sorry, Bond, but you know it's true. Not the case with this watch. I love it. First of all, the color combination. I never thought that I would be this much into a green bezel insert. That ceramic green looks fantastic, and as I mentioned, the way it plays with the light is just next level. In my opinion, this is one of the best value for money watches on the market right now. However, if you were thinking about buying an Omega or a Tudor or a Rolex, don't buy this instead, because it's not a substitute to those watches, it's more of an alternative. So if you wanted a Rolex, buy a Rolex, because I don't think Oris will fit that void. However, if you're looking for a solid diver watch with 300 meters of water resistance, fantastic build, fantastic quality, great movement, this one here is definitely a winner. I appreciate you watching this video until the end. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this Oris Aquis and what is your favorite model of Oris watches. And feel free to share this video with anyone who would find it useful. By the way, today on my wrist, I'm wearing a vintage Rolex Datejust. I purchased this watch in December of last year. I still haven't done a review, however, I do have a story and kind of my first impressions of the watch. That video can be found on the channel. I will also link it in the description below. Also in the description below, there is a secret link. Have a look if you're curious. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. is bigger than you.